Miller's too soft. That's what they said about Private Jake Miller, 22 years old, infantry soldier, FOB Jackson, Afghanistan. December 2018. Jake's too nice, too gentle. Mama's boy. Shouldn't be in combat. He calls his mom every week, writes letters, talks about feelings. That's not infantry. Miller's soft. When real combat comes, he'll freeze. Jake Miller sat in the mess hall December 20th, listening to Sergeant Davis mock him. Again, "Hey Miller, did you write mommy another love letter today?" The platoon laughed. It was a daily ritual. Mock the soft kid. Jake was different. Everyone saw it. He was kind, polite, helped others, volunteered for extra duties. The others? Hard, tough, traditional infantry, loud, aggressive, warrior culture. Jake didn't fit that mold, and they never let him forget it. "Miller, why'd you even join the Army? You should be teaching kindergarten or working at Starbucks making lattes. Soft kid like you? You'll get someone killed when combat happens." Jake took it every day for 6 months. Since he'd arrived at FOB Jackson, never fought back verbally, never got aggressive, just endured. Because Jake Miller had a secret. He joined the Army for his brother, Marine Lance Corporal David Miller, killed in action Afghanistan 2016. Jake was 19 when David died. David's last words to Jake: "Take care of mom, and be better than me. Be kinder." The world needs more kindness, not more warriors. So Jake joined, to honor David. But he joined as David asked, kind, gentle, strong. The others didn't know about David. Jake never told them, never explained why he was soft. He just let them mock, and proved himself through work. Never complained, always volunteered, did every job perfectly. But they still called him soft. December 20th, 2018. The commander made an announcement. Listen up. Command approved holiday leave for Christmas. 30 of you can go home. 10 must stay to guard the base. The entire platoon erupted. Home for Christmas. Soldiers who hadn't seen families in 2 years. Some with young kids. Some with pregnant wives. All desperate to go home. But 10 had to stay. Guard duty. Someone had to defend FOB Jackson during the holidays. The commander looked around. "I need 10 volunteers to stay." Silence. Nobody wanted to miss Christmas. Then one hand raised. Jake Miller. "Sir, I'll stay." The platoon stared. Then Sergeant Davis laughed. Of course Miller volunteers. Too scared to go home and face real life. Hides in the Army. "No," Jake said quietly. "I volunteer so others can go home. You have kids, Sergeant. You should spend Christmas with them." Davis sneered. "I don't need charity from a soft kid. I'll stay because I'm actually capable of defending this base." But Jake's best friend, Corporal Marcus Williams, stood up. "I'll stay too. Jake's right. Those of us without kids should stay." 9 others volunteered. Good soldiers. Men with fewer family obligations. Single guys. Younger soldiers. Jake was one of the 10. December 21st to 23rd. The 30 soldiers on leave prepared to go home. Excited, grateful. But they didn't thank Jake. They mocked him more. "Miller staying because he has no life to go home to. Soft kid probably doesn't even have friends back home. I bet his mom doesn't even want him back. Too embarrassing." Jake said nothing, just helped them pack, wished them Merry Christmas, smiled. Marcus noticed. "Brother, why do you let them talk to you like that?" Jake shrugged. "They're going home to their families. I can take some jokes if it means they get to see their kids. You're a better man than all of them." "I'm just doing what David would have wanted." Marcus nodded. Marcus knew about David. The only one who did. December 24th, 2018. Morning. Christmas Eve. The 30 soldiers boarded helicopters, waving goodbye, excited, heading home for Christmas. 10 remained. Jake and 9 others. To guard FOB Jackson for 4 days until December 28th. But then, problems started. 10 a.m. One of the 10 got emergency leave. His father died suddenly. He had to go home immediately. Down to 9. Noon, a supply helicopter arrived. The pilot brought bad news. Weather system moving in. This is the last flight out until after Christmas. Everything's grounded until the 26th. The commander looked worried. We have 9 guards. That's enough, but barely. 2 p.m. Radio call from headquarters. We need 3 soldiers from FOB Jackson immediately. Urgent transfer to Kandahar. Security situation there. They need experienced infantry now. The commander looked at the 9 remaining. I need 3 volunteers for Kandahar transfer. It's urgent. 3 of the 9 raised their hands. Good soldiers. Following orders. Down to 6. 4 p.m. The helicopter returned. Ready to take the 3 to Kandahar. The pilot looked at the 6 remaining soldiers. I can take more if anyone wants out. This is the last flight until the 26th. After I leave, you're stuck here for Christmas. The 6 looked at each other. All wanted to go home, but someone had to guard the base. 5 of them had families, wives, kids, parents. Jake Miller? Single. His mom was sick, yes, but she had Jake's sister with her. She'd be okay. Jake looked at the 5, saw their faces. They wanted to go home so badly. He made a decision. Take 5. I'll stay alone. Everyone stared. Miller, you can't guard an entire base alone. Someone has to stay. And I'm the only one without a family waiting. You 5 all have people who need you for Christmas. Jake, that's insane. You'll be alone. I know, but it's just 4 days. The base is quiet. Nothing ever happens here. I'll be fine. Marcus grabbed Jake's arm. Brother, no. I'll stay with you. Marcus, Emma is 3 years old. This is her first Christmas she'll remember. You need to be there. Marcus hesitated. His daughter Emma, 3 years old. He'd missed her second Christmas deployed. This was his chance to be home for her third. But leaving Jake alone. Jake, go Marcus. Emma needs her dad. Tell her Merry Christmas from Uncle Jake. The 5 soldiers looked at Jake Miller, the kid they'd called soft for 6 months. Sergeant Davis, who'd mocked him daily, felt a wave of shame. Miller, thank you. Jake smiled. Merry Christmas, Sergeant. Hug your kids for me. 4:30 p.m. The helicopter took off. 6 soldiers aboard. 5 going home. 1 transferring to Kandahar. Jake stood alone on the tarmac, watching it disappear into the gray December sky. FOB Jackson, 40 buildings. Enough supplies for 40 soldiers. Armory full of weapons. Defended by one 22-year-old private. The kid they called Too Soft. Alone. On Christmas Eve. Before we continue, subscribe to Army Story for more incredible stories of soldiers who proved everyone wrong. Comment below, where are you watching from? And have you ever volunteered to sacrifice so others could celebrate? 5 p.m. December 24th, 2018. Christmas Eve. Jake made his rounds. Checking perimeter. 40 empty bunks. Mess hall silent. Chapel dark. Just him. He'd never experienced silence like this. A military base is always loud. Soldiers talking, joking, training, living. Now, nothing. Just wind. And Jake's footsteps. He walked past the Christmas decorations the soldiers had put up before leaving. A small tree in the rec room. Lights blinking. Stockings on the wall. Merry Christmas banner. All for nobody. Jake smiled sadly. Called his mom. Jakey. Merry Christmas Eve, baby. Hey, Ma. Merry Christmas Eve. Are you coming home? No, Ma. I volunteered to stay. Guard the base. Let the guys with families go home. His mom's voice caught. Oh, Jakey. That's exactly what David would have done. Jake's eyes watered. I know, Ma. That's why I did it. I'm so proud of you. But I miss you. I miss you too. But I'll be home soon. After Christmas. Is Sarah taking care of you? Sarah equals Jake's sister. Yes, she's making dinner now. We'll be fine. You stay safe, okay? I will. Love you, Ma. Love you, Jakey. Merry Christmas. Jake hung up, wiped his eyes, looked around the empty base. 5:30 p.m. Jake heated an MRE for dinner. Sat alone in the mess hall. 40 empty chairs. He turned on the radio. Found a station playing Christmas music. Bing Crosby White Christmas. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Jake looked out the window. Afghanistan. Desert. No snow. Just dust and mountains. Not a white Christmas. A lonely one. But that was okay. Because 5 families were together tonight. Because Marcus was with Emma. Because Sergeant Davis was hugging his kids. That made it worth it. 5:45 p.m. Jake was washing his dish when the perimeter motion sensors beeped. Northern fence. Movement detected. Jake checked the security monitors. Thermal imaging. Nothing visible. Probably an animal. Wild dogs sometimes wandered near the base. 5:55 p.m. Eastern fence. Motion detected. Jake checked again. Still nothing on cameras. Wind? Maybe debris blowing? 6:05 p.m. Southern fence. Motion detected. Jake's instincts tingled. 3 alerts in 20 minutes? All different sides? He grabbed his rifle. Body armor. Helmet. Just in case. Went to the command center. Pulled up all camera feeds. Thermal imaging. Switching through views. North. East. South. West. Then he saw it. Heat signatures. Dozens of them. Moving through the desert. Surrounding the base. Jake's blood went cold. He counted. 20, 40, 60. More appearing. Taliban. Hundreds of them. Encircling FOB Jackson. Jake grabbed the radio. FOB Jackson to command. This is Private Miller. I have hostile contacts. Multiple. Estimate 200 fighters surrounding the base. Static. Then, FOB Jackson, say again? Did you say 200? Affirmative. I have approximately 200 Taliban surrounding FOB Jackson. I am alone on base. I need immediate support. Miller, you're alone? Where's the rest of the explosion? Mortar round hit the North Tower. The impact severed the communications antenna. Radio went dead. No communication with command. Jake tried emergency frequencies. All dead. The antenna was destroyed. He was cut off. Alone. Against 200 Taliban, who knew the base was empty, who'd been watching, waiting for Christmas Eve, when they knew Americans would be at minimum strength. They'd planned this perfectly. 6:15 p.m. Christmas Eve. The attack began. Mortars, RPGs, heavy machine gun fire. All sides simultaneously. Jake ran to the north bunker. The heaviest attack was coming from there. 50 Taliban fighters advancing on the north fence. Jake mounted the M240 machine gun, the same weapon he'd trained on for months. The weapon Sergeant Davis said he'd never use in real combat because he's too soft. Jake looked through the sights. 50 Taliban running toward him. He thought of David, his brother, who died fighting. He thought of Marcus, with Emma right now. Opening presents. He thought of Sergeant Davis, with his kids, safe, because Jake stayed. Jake squeezed the trigger. BRRRT. The M240 roared. Tracer rounds streaking into the darkness. Taliban fighters fell. 5, 10, 15. The advance stopped. They took cover. But from the east, another 40 fighters attacking. Jake was one soldier. They were attacking from 4 directions at once. Soft Kid was about to prove everyone wrong. For the next 12 hours, Jake fired the M240 until the barrel glowed. 23 Taliban down on the north side. But the east fence was being breached. 40 fighters climbing over. Jake grabbed his M4 rifle, ran across the base, alone, to the east bunker. Taliban inside the perimeter now, in the courtyard, firing at buildings. Jake took position, aimed, fired, controlled bursts. 3 rounds. Taliban down. Next target. 3 rounds. Down. Next. 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 12 Taliban killed in 3 minutes. The others retreated back over the east fence. But the south side RPG fire, hitting the armory building. Jake ran south, grabbed a grenade launcher, fired. Boom. Taliban position destroyed. 8 fighters killed in the explosion. 43 Taliban dead in hour 1. But Jake was breathing hard. Wounded, shrapnel from RPG hit his left shoulder. Bleeding. Not serious. Kept fighting. The radio in the rec room still playing Christmas music. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Gunfire. Explosions. Screaming. Jake thought, this is the worst Christmas song soundtrack ever. Hour 2, 7:15 to 8:15 p.m. breaching the inner perimeter. The Taliban changed tactics. Stopped frontal assaults. Started infiltrating. Small teams. 5 fighters each. Climbing fences quietly. Moving through shadows. Jake couldn't watch all 4 sides at once. He was one person. A team of 5 breached the west side. Got inside. Moving toward the command center. Jake intercepted them. Close quarters combat. Rifle raised. First Taliban, headshot. Second, chest shots, 2 rounds, down. Third charge with knife. Jake dodged, rifle butted him in the face, then shot him. Fourth and fifth fired together at Jake. He dove, rolled, came up firing. Both down. 5 dead. Jake's leg grazed by bullet. Bleeding. Minor. Kept moving. Another team, 7 fighters, breaching the north fence. Jake set a claymore mine. Waited. They entered the kill zone. Boom. All 7 killed instantly. 60 Taliban dead total. Hour 2 complete. Jake limping now. Shoulder wound. Leg wound. Exhausted. But alert. His phone buzzed. Text from Marcus. Merry Christmas Eve, brother. Emma says she loves Uncle Jake. Photo attached. Little Emma, 3 years old, wearing Christmas pajamas, smiling, hugging a teddy bear. Jake smiled, tears in his eyes. Worth it. All worth it. Then, explosion. Taliban breaching the south gate. Jake pocketed his phone, grabbed his rifle, ran. Jake killed 14 more Taliban in hour 3, defending the south gate, the armory, the main building. 74 Taliban dead total. But Jake was running low on ammunition, on energy, on time. He'd been fighting for 3 hours, alone, against 200. He had maybe 126 Taliban left to kill, and he was down to 3 rifle magazines. 200 rounds total. Not enough. Jake went to the armory, grabbed more weapons, more ammo, more grenades. Loaded himself like a walking arsenal. Then his phone rang. Not Marcus this time. Mom. Jake answered, breathing hard. Hey, Ma. Jakey. Merry Christmas Eve. Are you okay? You sound out of breath. Explosion in the background. Gunfire. Jake. What was that? Nothing, Ma. Just fireworks. Soldiers celebrating. Oh, that's nice. Well, I just wanted to say I love you. Sarah and I are about to watch It's a Wonderful Life. Your favorite. Jake's voice cracked. I love that movie. I know, baby. I wish you were here to watch it with us. Me too, Ma. Me too. Well, Merry Christmas, Jakey. Stay safe. You too, Ma. Love you. Jake hung up, wiped tears, reloaded his rifle. It's a wonderful life. Yeah, Ma. It is. Because I'm making sure Marcus gets to see Emma, and Davis gets to hug his kids, and you get to spend Christmas with Sarah. That's wonderful. Worth dying for. Jake stood up, heard Taliban regrouping outside, preparing another assault. He checked his ammunition. 200 rounds. Against 126 Taliban. Math said not enough. But Jake Miller was about to prove math wrong. Brief lull in the fighting. Taliban regrouping, treating their wounded, planning new assault. Jake used the time, sat down, wrote letters. Letter to Mom. Mom, if you're reading this, I didn't make it. I'm sorry. I wanted to come home, but I stayed so others could go home to their families. Marcus with Emma, Davis with his kids, 30 soldiers with their loved ones. That was worth it. I did what David would have done. I was kind. I was strong. I didn't freeze. I fought. for 126 people so far. Tell Sarah I love her. Watch It's a Wonderful Life for me. I'll be watching with you. Love, Jake. Letter to Marcus. Brother, hug Emma every day. Tell her Uncle Jake loves her. And tell her Uncle Jake stayed on Christmas Eve so Daddy could come home. That's what soldiers do. We give so others can receive. Merry Christmas. Jake. Letter to Sergeant Davis. Sergeant, you called me soft for 6 months. You were right. I'm soft. I care about people. I volunteer. I help. I'm kind. And tonight, that softness meant I stayed so you could go home to your kids. I hope you hug them tight. I hope you told them you love them. And I hope you stop calling people soft for being kind. Kindness is strength, not weakness. I proved that tonight. 74 Taliban dead. By the soft kid. Merry Christmas. PVT Miller. Jake sealed the letters. Put them in his jacket pocket. Then Taliban attacked again. 30 fighters. East side. Coordinated assault. Jake opened fire. M240 machine gun. Cutting them down. 15 dead in 2 minutes. The rest retreated. 89 Taliban dead total. Jake stared. 89. That was a lot. For one soldier. Alone. In 4 hours. He wasn't soft. He was lethal. Jake's body was breaking down. Blood loss. Dehydration. Exhaustion. He'd been fighting for 5 hours. Running. Shooting. Reloading. Moving. His shoulder throbbed. Leg bleeding through bandage. Vision blurry from fatigue. Taliban attacked from 2 sides. North and west. 40 fighters total. Jake couldn't defend both at once. Not alone. He chose north. The larger threat. Fired. Killed 8. But the west team breached. Got inside. 10 Taliban in the courtyard. Jake engaged. Close combat. Rifle fire. Grenades. 6 Taliban down. But 4 reached the main building. Got inside. Jake chased them. Through halls. His base. His territory. First Taliban, Jake shot him in the stairwell. Second, hiding in mess hall. Jake cleared the room. Killed him. Third and fourth, together in the armory. Trying to steal weapons. Jake burst in. Fired. Both down. 103 Taliban dead total. But Jake collapsed. Sat against wall. Breathing hard. Dizzy. He looked at his watch. 11:15 p.m. 45 minutes until Christmas Day. He laughed deliriously. Almost made it to Christmas. Then he heard more Taliban. Outside. Regrouping for final assault. Jake forced himself up. Reloaded. Checked ammunition. 50 rounds left. Against, he didn't know how many Taliban remained. Maybe 97. Maybe more. Not enough bullets. 11:55 p.m. 5 minutes to Christmas. The Taliban launched their final assault. Everything they had left. Approximately 100 fighters. All sides. Simultaneously. Overwhelming. Impossible odds. Certain death. Jake stood in the central tower. Highest point on base. Last defensive position. He had 50 rounds. For grenades. 1 combat knife. Against 100 Taliban. The Christmas music still playing on the radio in the building below. Silent night, holy night. Jake smiled. Not silent. Not tonight. He opened fire. Taliban fell. 10, 15, 20. But they kept coming. Wave after wave. Jake threw grenades. Explosions. More dead. Switched to pistol when rifle ran dry. Fired. 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 Pistol clicked empty. Taliban climbing the tower. Jake drew his knife. Hand-to-hand combat. On Christmas Eve. At the top of a tower. In Afghanistan. Jake fought. Stabbed. Punched. Kicked. 3 Taliban down with knife. But more coming. Jake was out of everything. No bullets. No grenades. Just a knife and his fists. This was it. This was how soft kid Jake Miller died. Fighting. Alone. On Christmas Eve. So 30 soldiers could be home with families. Worth it. Then, church bells. The radio. Christmas song ending. Midnight. Christmas Day. Ding dong. Ding dong. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And then, helicopter sounds. Jake looked up. Apache gunship. U.S. military. The Apache opened fire. 30mm cannon. Hellfire missiles. Taliban scattered. Dozens killed instantly. Jake collapsed. Relief flooding through him. They came. Someone came. The Apache circled. Eliminated Taliban positions. Covering a transport helicopter landing. The Chinook touched down. Ramp dropped. 6 soldiers ran out. Marcus. And the 5 who'd gone home. They'd flown back. On Christmas Day, at midnight, Marcus ran to the tower. Found Jake. Bleeding. Exhausted. Barely conscious. Jake. Marcus grabbed him. Brother. You're alive. Jake smiled weakly. Merry Christmas, Marcus. What happened here? Jake gestured at the base. Bodies everywhere. Taliban dead scattered across the compound. 200 Taliban. 6 hours. I defended alone. Marcus stared. 200. Yeah, I killed. I don't know. A lot. Sergeant Davis appeared. Looked at Jake. At the battlefield. At the impossible. Miller, you held them. Alone. For 6 hours. Jake nodded. Had to. Someone had to. Davis's voice cracked. You called me soft, sir. You were right. I'm soft. I care about people. That's why I stayed. Davis dropped to his knees. Miller, I'm sorry. For everything. Every joke. Every insult. You're not soft. You're the strongest soldier I've ever met. Jake smiled. I'm both, Sergeant. Soft and strong. Kind and lethal. That's who I am. The soldiers swept the base, counting Taliban bodies. Marcus radioed Jake, now in medevac. Brother, body count is 89 Taliban. You killed 89. By yourself. Jake in helicopter, barely conscious. 89? That's Emma's lucky number, right? She was born August 9th. August 9th. Marcus laughed, crying. Yeah, brother. That's her number. You fought for her. Tell her Uncle Jake stayed so Daddy could be home for Christmas. I will. Every year. I promise. Dawn broke. December 25th, Christmas Day. Jake evacuated to field hospital. Multiple wounds. Blood loss. Exhaustion. But alive. The 5 soldiers who came back. They'd begged the pilot. Our brother is alone. We left him. It's Christmas. We have to go back. The pilot violated regulations. Flew in marginal weather. On Christmas Day. To save the soft kid. Commander standing there. Miller, how are you feeling? Like I got hit by a truck, sir. You were hit by 200 Taliban. And you won. I had help. The Apache. The Apache killed 4 Taliban. You killed 89. In 6 hours. Alone. Jake stared. 89. Alone. On Christmas Eve. Sir, the letters. In my jacket. Can you send? Already sent. Your mom called. She's flying here. She'll be here tomorrow. And Marcus? Is Emma okay? Emma's fine. Marcus is fine. Everyone's fine. Because of you. Awards. Purple Heart, wounded in combat. Bronze Star, with valor, extraordinary heroism. Defense of FOB Jackson, official battle commendation. Citation. Private Jake Miller, acting alone, defended forward operating base Jackson against overwhelming enemy force of approximately 200 Taliban fighters for 6 hours on Christmas Eve 2018, eliminating 89 enemy combatants and sustaining base integrity until reinforcements arrived, demonstrating extraordinary heroism and selfless sacrifice, enabling 30 fellow soldiers to spend Christmas with their families. 3 days later, Marcus video called Jake in hospital. Brother, Emma made you something. Little Emma on screen, 3 years old, holding up a drawing. Crayon picture, Soldier Jake, defending a castle, the base. With angel wings, hero written in messy letters. Emma's voice, thank you for letting Daddy come home for Christmas, Uncle Jake. Jake cried, you're welcome, Emma. Merry Christmas, Princess. Davis visited Jake, stood at attention, saluted. Private Miller, I owe you an apology. For 6 months, I called you soft, weak, too kind. I was wrong. You're not soft. You're strong. You volunteered to stay alone on Christmas Eve so I could be with my kids. Then you defended our base, killed 89 Taliban by yourself. You're the best soldier I've ever served with, and I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. Jake extended his hand. Apology accepted, Sergeant. But I am soft. I do care about people. That's not weakness. That's why I fought. I fought because I care. Davis shook his hand. Then may I never call carrying a weakness again. Part of the base was renamed Miller Stand, Christmas Eve 2018. Plaque installed. Private Jake Miller defended this base alone against 200 Taliban, 89 enemy killed. 6 hours Christmas Eve 2018. Volunteered to stay so 30 soldiers could go home to families. Kindness is strength. Jake Miller, 29 years old, honorably discharged. Lives near his mom. Every Christmas, the 30 soldiers who went home that year, they called Jake. Every single one. Brother, we're home with our families today because of you. Marcus brings Emma to visit Jake every Christmas Eve. Emma's 9 now. She still has the picture she drew when she was 3. Uncle Jake, the hero. Sergeant Davis? He and Jake are friends now. Davis tells every new soldier the story. I used to mock a kid for being kind. Then he saved my life on Christmas Eve. Never mistake kindness for weakness. Jake keeps 3 things framed on his wall. Emma's drawing, his bronze star, a photo, FOB Jackson, Christmas morning 2018. Jake being carried to medevac. Sunrise behind him. Caption, the Christmas Defender. The world said Jake Miller was too soft, too kind, too gentle, not infantry material. They were wrong. Kindness made Jake volunteer to stay on Christmas Eve. Strength made him fight for 6 hours alone. Both kindness and strength saved 30 families' Christmas. 89 Taliban killed by the kid they called soft. On the holiest night of the year, so brothers could be home. That's not soft. That's heroic. If this story inspired you, comment Christmas Defender below. Subscribe to Army Story for more stories of heroes who proved everyone wrong. To Jake Miller and every soldier who sacrificed so others could celebrate. Your kindness is your strength. Your sacrifice is remembered. Your heroism saved families. Merry Christmas, Christmas tree, and thank you for defending us while we were home.